Okay, welcome back. So let's continue with the Viscous simulation of the YF17. So at this point we have done the most difficult part of this simulation. We added the inflation layer, prismatic layer, call it whatever you want. So at this point, let's run the simulation. We have the mesh. Remember, you have the two scripts here. I follow the same format, so this is step by step what you need to do. I don't add any script in here. And first we run the boundary layer, okay, and now we're going to run the simulation. I'm going to run with 8 core. Remember, just update this and we'll do everything automatically. I'm going to run also the LTS simulation, but if you want to run on a steady, there you have just erase this comment and comment this one. That is time consuming. So to run the simulation, nothing changed. Okay, so let me open here this two in constant. Oh, a few things change, you know, but pretty much it is the same. So first we're going to run Viscous mode. So we enable the turbulence modeling. We have flow separation, so we need it. We're going to use the K omega SST model. And here, physical properties also contrary to what we have done so far. Now that we're doing nebular simulations, Inviscid simulations, where viscosity is 0. Now, remember, put it here 0. Now we define the turbulent load for viscosity for the transport equation, and then we have the perfect gas, ideal gas for equation of a state. And pretty much that's it. We have set the physics. Now let me move to boundary conditions. So pretty much it is the same. Now we have the extra boundary condition for the turbulent quantity. I'm not going to talk about this. Remember, we have a really long playlist regarding turbulence modeling in OpenFOAM, just to mention a few things. Now for K, we define all these quantities, so we estimate it in base now of the input velocity. Then very important, we define all these walls. Okay, so recall that when you create the mesh, you have the file boundary, and the patches where you want to apply the model, they need to be defined wall, and then whatever other patches, there will be patch or symmetry and so on. So look at that here, the intake, it is a patch, and the exhaust is a patch, and the rest are walls and symmetry. Okay, be careful about that. We talk about that when dealing with meshing. So at this point, you define everything. You enable the model for K, for node also. You have different variants, so I like to use this. For omega, we use this one. So we're using the K omega SST, which is Y plus insensitive. So pretty much it will work fine with this mesh that we have. Remember, it's not a perfect, super beautiful mesh, but it will work. It will do our work. And then for alpha T, remember, this is the turbulent thermal diffusivity. So we apply this, and in case you want to know, you can get an estimate. Alpha T is the ratio between newt and PRT, the turbulent viscosity and the turbulent Prandtl number. So that is what we're modeling. And then we go to insisting. The only thing Control D, SV skin, SV solution. So this one, it will change according if you're using on the steady or LTS. We already studied that, so I'm not going to discuss anything here. Okay, as I mentioned, it changes according to what you have. The only thing that now we're because we are computing those new variables, the average, minimum, and maximum, and Y plus, and so on. So you have there new K, omega, and so on. Then you have the Wolৰীষ্টstress. Okay, now we can compute it. You have also Y plus, so you compute the field, and also you have the statistic every single iteration. For SV skins, pretty much as we have done so far in the previous videos, that we talk about LTS, so nothing changed. Okay, so now you add the new turbulent quantities, and for SV solution design, you add the new variables. Okay, K omega, and you are set to go. So something that I would like to mention here, that as it is Viscous, we have separation, as we have seen in the previous simulations. Here I increase the autocorrectors to 20, and also I reduce the max delta T a little bit now to give a little bit more stability. If you want, you can play with these parameters later, but I know that this will give me better stability. So that being said, I think we cover everything and we are ready to run. So we're going to follow these steps. So let me go here, run Wolřej. So I'm running with no safety net. I didn't prepare this. So let's see, hopefully it's not going to crash. So look at that, everything is okay at the first iteration. So look at that, it's doing 6 of these steps, autocorrectors, and then as it keep progressing, it will get faster. No, it will do less. I already see that it's doing 2 iterations. And if we look at the quantities, everything makes sense. We're at the beginning now, so you see this crazy value. It's not that low, but it should be much lower or positive. But in any case, beginning of the case, so look at that Y plus, you have this value, so it's not that bad now. 700, 600, it is okay. Even 2000 probably, depending also on the velocity. But yeah, if you don't put here the bottom layer, I think these values will go 3000, 5000, 6000, so a little bit high. So we have all our coefficients, and yeah, at this point we let it run. Okay, let me put here Python plus washer. Okay, let's Wolřej. So remember, this is, you need to install, this is a Python utility. So it's quite easy to install with Python, pip Python, and that's it. So here we have our monitor. So look at that, the residuals looks very nice. The conservation error, continuity errors, okay. Here we have the unbounded quantities. Remember that was K, that was becoming negative. K by definition is positive. Just recall the theory. And pretty much that's it. At this point also we need to check the forces, but the forces will start to print after 100 seconds. So I will wait for that. I will let the simulation run in now, and let's see what we get. Okay, so we're back. So as you can see, we arrived now a little around 4000 iterations. So like for the Inviscid case, we didn't need to run it that long, but just to compare with the cases. So probably we could have started at 1500 maybe, okay, by looking values here, or probably less. But in any case, we simply added a prismatic layer to the mesh. We're running Viscous mode, and there you go, you have a solution. So hopefully now you can master better now the workflow. Without this, really we saw this really nice feature in Snappy that you can, and let me close here, that you can add prismatic layers to basically any kind of meshes. So at this point we have a solution, and the last part that I would like to do, let me reconstruct latest time. And remember, I always recommend to do post-processing using another data format, not the native one from Paraview, so from OpenFOAM. So I recommend to use NSI, but BTK will work, or TechPlot. So I will do phone to NSI latest time, and let me use Paraview 6 to do post-processing. So we have a few videos on that as well. So this point to compare the Viscous solution. So here, so remember that here we should have also the Y plus value that we don't have in the Inviscid. And let me go and open. So here you have LTS. So let's compare, should be this one. So Inviscid case, So BL means the boundary layer, so it will be the viscous. So let me split the screen. Let me put this here. Let me link cameras. Okay, so I don't want to see that in there. So let me put here MAC number, new. So here, let me put MAC number. And select here also MAC number. And there you go. So clearly you can see that at the wall velocity 0 by definition, you have the boundary layer there. So not big of a deal that. And at this point, what I would like to do, so let me click here and let me extract here and let me get the aircraft. Okay, there you go. Fantastic. Let me do the same here. So this will be the Inviscid one. Okay, and I want to see that here, and I don't want to see it there. So if I zoom in, okay, let me keep here MAC number velocities clearly 0 here by definition. Here I impose some boundary conditions at the outlet, and let me select here, and if I go here, we have now a velocity there. Okay, then the field Y plus doesn't exist there. I only have it here, and let's check Y plus that. I should click here. Bam, 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 bam. So a lot of stuff, and there you go. Your Y plus. Let's change the scales and let's put 1000, and there you go. So this is a comparison. And finally, let's do here the Q criterion that we have it as well. I think it should be here. So Q criterion, let me use a value of 200. There you go. So solid. Let's use here MAC number. Let's use no pressure. Okay, on the surface. Cool. And to end here, so let's use extra blood. Let's use was pressure, would say. Okay, we're using the same scale. Set it here. And let me do Q criterion, and I think it was 200 now. Put it there, I don't recall, yeah, it was 200. And so the color, and at this point we can compare. So, and let me give the last touch class. So remember that we have a smooth filter there, so let's put it. Apps should filter search if move. Okay, okay, it shows the wrong filter. So search smooth there. Let's use your smoothing 200. And there you go. And here in this one, same filter, smooth, and I will use 200 as well there. And no color. And there you go. Inviscid solution, viscous solution. So as you can see, very similar. Okay, difference as well. You have the boundary layer, but there you go. Quite nice result. All the post-processing, nothing strange. Well, if you didn't recall, here we have now the boundary layer. So let me zoom in. There you go. okay, that we added in the previous video. We added those using a snappy X mesh. So that's all for this case with OpenFOAM, and we cover different time discretization schemes. We added the boundary layer, we run the Inviscid Viscous, and now in next video, let's move and do exactly the same case, but with Ansys Fluent. So thank you, see you next time, bye.